All right, well, what's happening in West Asia? Until yesterday, it was very, very clear that Donald Trump was in fact in a celebratory mood. He went on Truth Social, he went on X to tell the world that the negotiations and the supposed agreements between the United States and Iran were headed in the right track. What happened when we woke up this morning? Well, we got to know that the US Navy has bombed some parts of Iran early on this morning. Well, this is extremely contradictory. This is extremely in contrast to what we've been listening come out of the White House. In fact, what even Marco Rubio said while he was in Delhi, in India, for a few days. Well, Donald Trump is contradicting his own statement. Iran has been trying to, in fact, get through to that MOU, that set of expectations that the Americans have put on them, and somehow come up with a solution so the Strait of Hormuz could be opened, sanctions on Iran can be lifted, and the world and West Asia predominantly can resume life normally at last. But that has not happened. Now, what this has done, it has sent some mixed signals to Iran. Even if they sit on the table across from US negotiators and people who are in fact acting as arbitrators like Pakistan and Saudi Arabia and Oman, it is going to be a trust deficit now. There is a possibility that the Americans could ask Iran to agree to everything that the US wants them to do, including halting enrichment of uranium, lifting sanctions and whatnot, and then go back on their word. Well, this is a very rare phase in diplomacy and geopolitics that we are seeing, that the difference or the distance between the lip and the cup is so wide that you never get to the brass tacks. And this event, in fact, is likely to surmount the trouble that we are already facing. India specifically is already facing when it comes to its energy crisis. From what we are learning and from what is out there in the media, even Iranian media, that even the people who are running Iran at this point in time were absolutely clear that they want this war to end. They want the Strait of Hormuz to open. What suddenly happened to Donald Trump is something which has obfuscated and confused so many people. What does this mean is going to happen next? Well, there is a possibility that Iran is going to counterattack or retaliate because some of its strategic locations have been attacked. It could also be that Iran does not do anything and the path that we've been witnessing for the last few days continues as is. But this is something that we can say for Iran. This is something that we definitely cannot say for Donald Trump. Thank you for watching.